introducing Chat GPT to the people in the class I'm taking, and the one gal did private message me and say, what was that site that you talked about? And so I sent her the link to Chat GPT. I've also been getting a lot of emails from the company that is behind Chat GPT with wanting to encourage me to get one of their paid
Yeah,
services. And I
yeah.
thought I even unsubscribed, but it seems like I'm still getting them. So I don't know if, their intent is to get you caught up in using their service, because I do like it. And I've never been said that I couldn't use it because it was too busy. And my response, I don't know how it could be any faster, because that's one of the things they advertise on Chat GPT. If you do one of the two plans, the
I have had pretty lengthy response times compared to what I mean, usually it's like almost instant, but I've had times when it's been much, much longer. Now, it was still a matter of a couple minutes, but it definitely was not instant. So
Yeah, well, it said that's one of the
yeah.
advantages, and I think one of the plans is close to $30 a month, and the other plan is in the area of $10 a month. And I'm just not needing that kind of service that I would pay money for at this point, because you can get a lot just on the free internet, and the free GPT and the other, I've only tried two AI services as such, but every time Google or Gmail corrects my grammar in an email or whatever, I didn't even think of that being AI, but I've been using AI for years without even realizing it. And sometimes I go with their suggestion, and sometimes I want to keep it the way I have it. And it's not really an error. It's just not grammatically the way they feel is correct. So I
Yeah,
think,
I like the thing that over the years that in Grammarly that it'll say like friendly, professional. I've liked that. Like it'll put it down there without you asking, down in the bottom right hand corner, and you're just like, oh, okay, so good. I do sound professional, or yes, it's not, it's kind of friendly, it's kind of, whatever tone it is conveying. That's the thing I've struggled with Chat GPT, is that you go from telling it commands of do this and this, and make it professional, and then it generates this response. Whereas the other way, Grammarly takes what you're already doing in producing and presenting to them, and then giving you suggestions based on what you're writing. And I think that's a little bit easier to navigate, because you're going from your words to possibly improving your words, whereas Chat GPT, you're going from some made up words to trying to make it your words. But yeah, I've never realized that either until Roger had mentioned it in the last episode that we did, that we've always been kind of interacting with an AI.
I mean, I just think it can be a great resource if it's used wisely. And I know it helps me understand the different lessons when I get an answer to sometimes I don't really understand the question, and I put it up there for Chat GPT, and the answer they give me helps me understand what the question really was about. And so I think it can really be a help, if students know what plagiarism is, and that they shouldn't just copy and paste what an AI resource or tool gives them. I think and for teachers to create questions, I just think, especially if they want to start with multiple choice questions, but also the short answer and the essay questions it created in this form of this AI were really good. I mean, to me, they were almost better than I could have come up with, spending hours trying to come up with some thoughtful questions that it's going to be a help, I think, to the educational arena.
Definitely that perspective. I agree with you, because teachers can generate different materials and interact with those materials in a way that is on a different cognitive level, whereas students might be producing something that is a facade to their educational abilities, because they can create something that is lazy and answering the questions and not learning, whereas teachers are generating things that are going to motivate students to learn or create more rigor in the classroom and that kind of stuff. The one program that I was using, Canva, a friend at one of the at the boys' school was talking about how she uses Canva for her business, and she pays for the pro version. Well, the other day I thought, well, I'll mess around with Canva for a little bit, and it gave me a free trial to the pro version. And I used the AI because she says it's amazing, and she just said that it's worth it alone just to pay for it, to have it like look at what you've already created and touch it up and make it more professional or make it more, I don't know, sale worthy. I haven't found it to be all that great. I started with like a blank canvas and worked on it in there, and said I wanted a wildcat, and I wanted it to relate to baseball, and I wanted lasers coming out of his eyes. I just kind of put things in there, and then I slowly found myself being less demanding of it because it wasn't that good. I said a cartoon wildcat, that helped a little bit. But then I said lasers. Well, it didn't understand what lasers meant, which was weird. So I couldn't find the words. I thought it was easy. I want a cartoon wildcat with lasers coming out of his eyes. And it couldn't do that. It only gave me like 2 options. And one of them was just a regular wildcat that wasn't a cartoon. So I just felt like it wasn't up to par yet. Maybe I'm not using it well enough. But yeah, I felt like I could create something faster and better than trying to find something that it would create that was pleasing to me.
So yeah, and just the evolution of this is something I think that's going to be a challenge, because it's changing, it's getting better. There's certainly a lot of problems with it right now, and I think one of the things that I think is going to be interesting, and maybe we can actually do a vlog on this, is creating your own persona. How to. The word teach is really, you're programming it. It's a computer program, but we use the word teach oftentimes with AI. How do you teach it what I am like so that it will do a better job of meeting the things that I'm doing? So in creating a persona, and just really quick, so you put in things like your age, your hobbies, your educational background. If I'm creating a persona to help write quizzes for my class, I'll probably put in, the grade level of my students, their, range of reading abilities and things like that. And so the artificial intelligence program will have all of this information available. So when you tell it to generate a quiz, you may even have it, always include 2 questions for non-readers, or whatever that you might want to put in there for struggling readers. Always include 4 questions that are going to be for extra credit that are exceptionally difficult, but yet include the material. And then you can actually, you could actually copy the reading, from a textbook. You could take the reading from a textbook, the assignment, and put it in and say, here is the reading assignment. Now generate 5 questions of terms used in this assignment. And that kind of power, I think, is just going to be incredible and difficult for us to figure out how to use effectively down the road.
In fact, that's what the one thing when you go to QuestionWell.org is you can put in a reading passage and create, but I haven't used it enough to find out how good it is with essay questions and short answer questions. I basically just did multiple choice questions on a book, a whole book. And so I've got a lot more testing to do if I want to recommend it all across any kind of questions.
Did you say
So-
did you say that QuestionWell connects to the standards too?
Yes, yes, you can list the standards you want as well.
You haven't shown us QuestionWell yet, have you?
I don't think so. I'm
If
not
you could
logged-
show us a little bit of it,
Okay,
that'd be
hang
nice.
on
Yeah.
here. We go ahead here and this is the home page, and make sure that you know questionwell.org, not .com. And I just clicked on try it out. It does show that these are the different formats that you can take the questions, but notice it says we'll write essential questions, learning objectives, and align multiple choice questions. So, but this is what it looks like, and you put in the general concept, and they give you an example of one from 7th grade science, and then you can put in the learning objectives and the language, and you can do fill in the blank or short answer. Now, I haven't gone into this upgrade, but much as other than to real quickly say, I wanted the free plan, but you can see that if you wanted short answer questions, you want to edit things that you need to upgrade $7 per month. So it is cheaper than say ChatGPT for the cheapest monthly plan. And let's see, $70 per year. You can save a little money by doing the paying it for a year. But this was one of
So
the
on the price, but please do continue with your demonstration. But on the cost, I mean, that's one of the things that's going to be facing us, because ChatGPT will generate questions as well. So is it worth, to me as a teacher, is it worth an extra $70 a year for the features that QuestionWell has, for the things that QuestionWell does better than ChatGPT? And it's going to take us a while to figure that out. And QuestionWell is just one of several resources. There's resources out there that focus on the writing process and really focus down on analyzing students' ability to communicate in various forms. Well, they all have a free version, but look for that paid version as well. So how many different paid versions am I going to need? I mean, that's something that we're going to be working through in this next year, I think, as individual teachers, as we're looking at these resources. Judy, go ahead, show us what it does in the free.
Basically, I went and just put that I want essay questions from outsiders just to see what, and it still just gave me multiple choice questions, but it also put in the objective from each one. I didn't put that in, that was added. And then it says you can check it with a Google search, probably for validity. But over here, it's got filter by learning objectives. So it's got what they felt the learning objectives were with this book. You can
and I can see literature teachers all over the place saying, wow, I want to do this. And here's why I think you might want to do it, is it allows you to individualize instruction. There are
exactly.
many great resources out there, but I'm only going to teach one book because I can't do this for 32 kids. But
yeah, this way I can take these 19 questions and pick 5 out for 3 different groups of students. So say I have more advanced readers, I have the average readers, and then I have the struggling readers. I can take these questions and click on whether I want to use them or not, and then I can just export them to all those different tools that a teacher might be using, whether it's Kahoot or Moodle, or my choice, of course, is Google Forms because I've already got the Google account set up.
So if
Quizlet.
you're using Google Classroom, you can go in here, have it generate a quiz, and bang. I mean, in literally a couple minutes, you could
Right
have the
there.
quiz
I
ready
only picked
in your
three
Google class.
Yeah, I only picked 3 questions. It's all done. And I use my Google account to log into QuestionWell. And so here are those 3 questions. Now, if I decide those are not the right choices on the multiple choice, I can edit those. I go down to, of course, the little edit this form, and it's just as if I had created this. I don't like that title. That's kind of basic. I would probably put in just Quiz on Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. Only why would I put S.E.
But
Hinton
S.E.
on the
Hinton,
first
yeah.
question if I'm asking them who the author is?
Right. You see how many people miss that one.
Right. And also, I can go back to QuestionWell, close that, and pick another for group B, pick different questions from these question sets. So I just, and I didn't choose any short answer. But again, it's
Yeah, so
suggested
that's one of the reasons I might pay that $70 a year, is so I could get,
exactly.
also have it generate these short answer and fill in the blank kind of questions.
Right, and it saves the sets. It's never said you've got too many saved, you're at your limit or anything like that. And what I really liked was I took a few of the books from Info Ohio's book flicks and just threw in the title, Click Clack Moo. And of course, it came up with, I didn't ever put a book in that it did not find questions to put in. It was, I'm sure if it was not a published book, it wouldn't have worked, but it was just put in the title. And like I said, at one time I put in insiders instead of outsiders, and it corrected me. There is no book called Insiders, that's the outsiders. I just think it might be worth, if I was still in the classroom, of spending $7 a month to get essay questions as part of this. Although ChatGPT will give you good essay questions. They were awesome. Like I said, probably better than I could have created myself. And the thing was, it didn't export. And that was the key, that exporting, saving you that step of, you can't just copy and paste into a Google form. You can copy the question, you can copy the individual answers, but it's one at a time. And so QuestionWell did that for me. And so,
so my ability at predictions isn't that great, but I am predicting almost every teacher is going to be using QuestionWell or one of the other programs similar to it.
Yeah, there's probably other ones like it, but this teacher shared this with me and I tried it out, and I'm going like, wow, that would really save a lot of time. And it allows you to customize the question. If you got one favorite question that you like on Google Form, you just add it to it, and whatever. But it comes up with some great questions. At least I thought, that first one, who's the author? That's pretty obvious. Maybe you wouldn't even add that question, but that's an option you have, is to pick the questions you like that it gives you.
Yeah. Well, Judy, that's really, I love this. I'm going to actually send it out to some of my districts and suggest that, maybe we come in and do some trainings on it. Yeah, I think it'd be great.
If they haven't heard of, definitely. I'm telling all the teachers I personally know, if we get to talking about resources, that they need to check it out.
Yeah, I think I think you guys are correct on the 3 concerns. I think our general concern is the way students are going to utilize the AI. The second is instructionally, the the challenge instructionally of using it as a teacher and which resources to use, and this one combined with that one, and then all of the pricing of that third option that Roger brought up, that, you know, like I'm gonna buy this one because it's the ease of exporting to all of these wonderful resources that I already use. I think it's going to turn into like this battle of the AIs and who's going to join forces first and get the biggest from this. But yeah, that's really interesting. And of course, we'll have that, all those links and stuff that you've been talking about, Judy, and we'll put that on our resource page on the link that you see right there. And as always, if there's something you're interested in regards to instructional technology, you can email us at all the contact information that are at the end of this video. I think we're just going to keep talking about ChatGPT and AI and all the resources out there associated with the AI interfaces that are coming out. I know that it's a big conversation in our household, and I think it's going to be a big conversation for the beginning of this upcoming school year. So join us next week, and we'll be talking more about AI and maybe ChatGPT or some other resources that have plugins or resources connected to the AI interface. All right, so thank you. See you next week.